What's up guys, this is CGC Apex, aka Nick, bringing you some more Rise of Iron news. So let's get right into it. First is Iron Engrams, which will be sold by Lord Saladin. They'll actually be giving you year 1 and year 2 armor sets for all those collectors out there. So if you really want them, you'll be having to get Iron Engrams. They can detail on how you would have to get them. Next is Shira 4, who is Caden's friend in the tower. They're giving him new bounties, such as kill enemies with a battle axe in the plague lands, and also complete a Captain encounter in the Archon's Forge. So, like I thought, the battle axe is just like the Scourge Cannon. You could get it in Patrol, and you can also get it in Archon's Forge, so it's kind of like Prison of Elders with the Scourge Cannon. Shira 4 is also selling class items that are old Gear 1 Iron Banner bonds and other stuff. I think it might be weapons and armor too, I'm not exactly sure. But once again, for those collectors out there, he will be selling old Year 1 Iron Banner stuff. Next, we have Radiant Treasures, which is basically the new Sterling Treasure. There's no details about how to get them really, except for microtransactions and in-game missions. That's all they said. What they're actually containing are visual skins for your exotics, which people are calling ornaments. Some of the weapons that they already told us will be getting those kind of visual skins are the Zalo, the Invective, the Telesto, the Amida, and also the brand new Kabastov. Another thing from Eververse is that they're going to be selling artifacts for making in-game montages, video, movies, whatever you want to call them. They're just specifically for that. They'll change the filter color. I don't know how many they'll have, but I know that they're basically just for changing the filter color, nothing else. The next thing we have is the Plague Lands. They're giving us a little bit of details for how it's going to look visually. They start off with Lord's Watch, which is a massive bluff that you can look down. You can see all the areas that you'll eventually have to go to. From this view that you're going to be getting, you can see splicers in different areas working with Siva throughout the whole patrol, which I think is pretty cool. And also they'll be having Archon's Forge in the background. Now, a lot of people have been asking what exactly is Siva. Game Informer kind of gave us a definition. It's a self-organizing nanotechnology, but the catch is that it needs a director or a leader that can command it to turn into whatever they need, because basically Siva can become anything that it is commanded to do. And Siva is actually kind of linked to how we use engrams, how weapons and armor are stored into the engram, which I thought was pretty cool. So we could really see how much that technology, how valuable it is to the splicers and to the Fallen. Now next, we have new public events. They didn't really give that much detail about it. They just gave one public event, which is kill a Splicer Walker tank. So it's just basically a regular Walker tank with Siva on it. And also there are going to be new calcified fragments in the patrol, which is tied to the Galahorn and also to the Rise of Iron history. So we'll get a little bit of backstory about that, which is pretty cool. Next we have the Archon's Forge. We had some people play it and they gave some details about it, and they're saying it plays longer than the Court of Oryx and plays like Gears of War Horde mode, so you'll get those endless waves until you have to fight the boss. It kind of differs from the Court of Oryx because if you die, usually in Court of Oryx you would just respawn yourself and you'd be right back in action in like 5 seconds, but this one you need your teammates to pick you up because they're closing the entrance to Archon's Forge, so nobody can just join in, I'm guessing. Also, they're saying if you're not putting enough constant damage on the bosses or any other enemies, they're talking about timing out the event in which you will have to restart the whole event over. I don't know if that's going to take your Siva offering away or you'll get it back. I don't know how that works. But they also gave some details about Archon's Forge, exactly why it's there, what's the purpose of it. They're saying that it's a kind of offering temple for the fallen and for the splicers. What you do is the foot soldiers for the fallen to find Siva somewhere in the Playlands. They'll take it to the Archon's Forge as kind of like an offering so they can move higher up in the hierarchy system. So us actually coming in and disrupting that, we're disrupting their offering, their ritual. So it should be a very, very intense kind of PvP, well not PvP, PvE place. And they're saying it's really intense. The players who played it beforehand, they said they didn't get to a boss, but they said it was already hard enough. So I'm really excited to test that out. But also coming with Archon's Forge is the rewards. Obviously, they're saying that it's going to be a light cap class item that you will receive if you finish the whole thing, if you beat the boss also. So that can already tell you how hard it's going to be. But everybody's waiting for those rewards, so get enough fire team members and you should be able to run through it easily. Next we have the Iron Banner and the Iron Lord armor sets. Usually what we think is that they're just going to be the same. They're not. They're going to be different. They're going to have a distinct quality where the Iron Banner armor sets is more materialized, looks more kind of for military use instead of just a specific unique armor, that's where the Iron Lord armor sets come in. But also a little bitty detail they threw in was that there is not going to be any vault space increase. So for people who like to increase their vault space so they can collect all the items, that's kind of a heartbreaker. And then the last piece of detail that I have today is that they're only going to allow you to hold 5 skeleton keys. I don't know yet if that's per guardian or per account, but like I said in my past video, the skeleton keys are for specific loot items. But that's it for today. This is CGC Apex. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment, and I'm out.